Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to CL's Law channel on the YouTube. Today we're going to look at 3 hours of reading comprehension, grammar, and vocabulary. Before I start, let me just quickly check my chat and just give me some kind of an indication that you can see me and hear me clearly. So I also know that my chat is working fine. Can I see? No, I can only see the description. Hold on. Yes. All right. Can you see me and hear me clearly? Wait, hold on. Just give me a second. Good afternoon, Ritvika. Yes, the chat is working. All right. So I was told that they've done a bit of reading comprehension with Abhilasha yesterday. Good afternoon, Shreya, Priyanka, Kartike, Dileshwari. Wait, let me put the thing closer to me. All right. So I was told that you've done a bit of RC, but that I'm an RC addict, so I cannot not do RC. But I was told that you wanted grammar, and I agree because AILET does ask a grammar question related to the RC, or even unrelated, they create one. And it's important because an RC is very, grammar question is easy. If you know the concept, you can answer it quickly and you're getting the same marks as any other question. So, RC and vocabulary questions are something that you should bag immediately. Good afternoon, everybody. Your names are just flying on the screen. So today we're going to look at concept clarity in RC, grammar and vocabulary, but I'm going to first teach you grammar. All right. And then we move on to, if you noticed, if you've, I'm sure you've done the past year papers. Last year, there were not as many grammar and vocabulary related questions as the previous year. 2023, almost every passage had 2 or 3 questions related in some way to your understanding of a sentence rather than the passage as a whole. And second thing, there were questions on grammar, like which sentence has been expressed in present perfect tense, present perfect continuous, things that if you don't like grammar, you don't go near it. So today, that's what we will do. Okay, I am going to take you through. It is like Ren and Martin in 2 hours or 2.5 hours, and the rest half an hour RC thoda kar lenge. I hope you're okay with that, right? So what we're going to do is, the English section of AILET is primarily a test of reading comprehension. The paper is lengthy, so it's a test of speed and accuracy in RC. You get 6 or 7 passages with 7 or 10 questions in each. But remember, there's a big advantage to having 10 questions in one RC passage. If you read one RC passage carefully, you get to answer 7, 8, 10 questions happily. You get a lot of marks, right? And grammar and vocabulary are part of the RC. I can think of, if you give me a paragraph, I can think of 100 grammar questions and well, not 100, well, quite a few grammar questions and quite a few vocabulary questions based on that. Now, what would I do? I would insert an error deliberately. Author has used an article, I would remove it. Author has used a preposition, I would use some other preposition, and then ask you which one is correct. All right. So you know the common genres: fiction, non-fiction, books, articles, essays. If the passage is on a fiction, on a book, then there would be a lot of questions on. There can be a lot of questions on grammar, on active passive speech, on reported speech, on tone, anything. Correct. If it is an essay, then it would be vocabulary centric. So depending on the source and the author, if Shashi Tharoor is the author, you can rest assured there'd be a lot of questions for a question setter to ask you on vocabulary. Correct. So depending on the passage, the question setter decides what kind of question should I ask. Main point, theme, title, style and tone, direct fact based questions. I'm sure Abhilasha dealt with that yesterday. Inference based questions, vocabulary based questions, and grammar based questions. Out of these, you know that, wait one second, let me, you know that I don't like red as a pen color, so let me just change it to blue. All this is based on the passage. Okay, even vocabulary, but grammar, this you require previous knowledge. Okay, so that is what I'm going to try to teach today. Okay, all right. What are the common grammar topics that are most likely to be asked? I told you, the it depends on the question setter, right? This s should be small. Okay, it depends on the question setter. Okay, whether he wants to ask on modifiers, parallelism, sentence structure, but generally the easiest and the most often asked questions would be on articles or prepositions, where they can take a sentence from the passage and say, what is the correct way of expressing this sentence. So they can either add or remove an article. So we need to have a good knowledge of articles and prepositions, right? The other important thing is, in longer sentences, you have to make sure that there's an agreement of the verb with subject. Of course, the most common one I have noticed in AILET has been questions based on tenses and parts of speech. Parts of speech in the sentence, they're not going to ask you which one is an adjective, but they'll ask you what is the meaning of the adjective used in this sentence. So you have to have a knowledge of everything, which is what we are going to do today. All right. And I'll try to keep it interesting. I'll try to keep it easy. So don't worry. Don't say, I don't know grammar. I'm scared. In one day, what will I learn? You can learn a lot, okay, of the, because the grammar is not so much theory as we'll just solve questions. And based on the questions, I'll tell you the concept behind it. Okay. Why I'm not stressing too much on vocabulary is, vocabulary in AILET is mostly contextual. I cannot outguess the examiner and say what kind of passage is he going to use, what kind of words can be used from that passage. That will be difficult. So what I've done instead is, I have selected 2 or 3 passages from 23 and 24 where there are vocabulary questions, just to show you what kind of questions are asked on vocabulary. When in doubt, always remember, go back to the sentence and read it 2 3 times. If you are in doubt about a sentence or a word that has been used in the passage, read 2 3 times, say it in your own words, and what is the meaning of the word, and the word that you come, like for example, if he says, I have to recapitulate what I have done so far, I like circumnavigating the world. Okay, and if it's a travel log, then you would say circum, around, navigate, going. So circum, around the world means traveling. You have to guess the meaning of the word by reading the sentence 2 3 times. So contextual vocabulary questions should not be difficult for you, but grammar is something that you need to know. So let's start with grammar review, but we will be doing a little bit of RC if time permits. All right. First, we start with parts of speech, what you learned probably in standard 4 or standard 5. We will define these words in a way that we understand them. All right. Name of a person, place, thing, include animal in it. It reminds you of the game you played as a child. I played a lot, which is why I keep talking about that. That is a noun. All right. So Virat Kohli is a noun, bat is a noun, cricket is a noun. Name of a person, place, animal, thing. Pronoun, a word that is used in place of a noun. So if I say Virat Kohli is my favorite batsman, Virat Kohli is the best batsman in the world, Virat Kohli, now I'm not doing that. So what will I say? After I mention Virat Kohli once, after that I change to addressing him as he. Or if I mention anyone else, Alia Bhatt, then I'd say she. If I talk about everybody, then I'll say they, right? So pronouns are words that are used in place of nouns, but there are certain rules in the use of pronouns that sometimes is a problem for us. So we'll be looking at that. We'll also be looking at the different kinds of pronouns. All right. Adjectives are describing words. What do they describe? They describe a noun. Now, in grammar, we use the word modify. Modify means nothing but describe or add to the meaning. Okay. So that's just a fancy word to mean. So adjectives. So the moment you have a doubt about a word, is this an adjective or an adverb, ask yourself what is the word talking about. Okay. This is a beautiful flower. Most children would say, flower is the name of a thing, noun. Beautiful is an adjective. So, because beautiful is talking of the flower, so beautiful is an adjective. But in she is beautiful, right? If I say she is beautiful, here what is the beautiful talking about? A noun or a pronoun. She. Let me talk about, give the name of a person. Okay, Deepika Padukone. Now, if I say beautiful is still talking about a person, a noun. Therefore, here also beautiful is an adjective. Got it? So just ask yourself, if you're asked to find out what part of speech is it, okay, then you have to just ask yourself, what function is that word doing? What is it talking about? Is it talking about the noun or the pronoun? It's an adjective. If it is talking about a verb, an adjective, or other adverbs, then only it's an adverb. What is a verb? The most important part of a sentence. It is a word that tells an action or a state. Because of that, you have a lot of other grammar concepts which are linked to verbs, such as, well, is the verb in active voice or passive voice? What time is it talking about? Then you have the concept of tenses. Is it talking about a singular subject or a plural subject? Then you're talking about agreement of verb with subject. So verbs have a lot of concepts attached to them. You're not just learning about verbs. Mostly we'll be talking about tenses and agreement of verb with subject. If time permits, we'll also do a couple of active and passive voice examples. What is an adverb? It tells you more about a verb. All right, that is the main function. So, for example, if I say she sings, okay, who? Shreya Ghoshal. All right, now I am not satisfied with this sentence and I'll say melodiously or beautifully, right? Then this word is telling me how she sings. It is a word which is telling me more about a verb. So therefore, it's an adverb. Agreed. All right. Suppose I say Virat Kohli. Oh my God, this lady is only talking about Kohli. Huh? If I say Virat Kohli runs fast, right? So fast is an adverb, correct? Because it tells you how he runs. Suppose I say Virat Kohli runs very fast. What part of speech is very? Quick. Adjective or adverb? ADJ for adjective, ADV for adverb. If I say Virat Kohli runs very fast. Very is an adverb describing another adverb. Suppose I say somebody, Mr. X is very tall. Okay, Amitabh Bachchan. Amitabh Bachchan is tall. Tall is an adjective. If I say very tall, quite tall, then it is telling us, the word is telling us more about an adjective. So, adverbs, when you are asked to identify adverbs, your first instinct would be it describes a verb. Suppose you have a doubt still, it is not describing a verb, but I still feel it's an adjective. Then look at, is it describing another adverb or is it describing an adjective? Understood? Most troublesome word is, and so remember, articles are nothing but adjectives, okay? Because they tell you more about a noun. And prepositions. These are the most troublesome words in the English language, and they are very short. In, on, at, by, these are small things. Problem you have with preposition is, do I use a preposition or not? If I have to use it, what preposition to use? So those are three things. So sometimes you end up using a preposition when you shouldn't use. Second, not using a preposition when one has to be used. And third, using the incorrect preposition. Three problems with prepositions, right? Then of course you have conjunctions. In conjunctions, the main thing is to understand what conjunction to use based on the meaning of the sentence. All right, sentence is saying, though he did not study, he passed. Okay, because he did not study, he passed doesn't make sense here. All right, so that is how you have to remember. Interjections nobody uses now, but just remember they are exclamations like oohs and ahs and alas and things like that. Okay, I have said it. Now let me just quickly give you a sentence. Okay, there are several pieces of legislation awaiting the governor's clearance, but the bill in question is different from the rest. What part of, let's do it one by one. Okay, capital A, give me the answer for what is capital A in terms of small letters. Okay, A, B, C, or D. What part of speech is several? Quickly. What part of speech is several? There are several pieces of legislation. How is several? You're saying it's D. D is a preposition. What is several? Guys, no, 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 no. Here, your options are given here. A is adjective, B is noun, C is adverb, D is preposition. Several is not a preposition. Several means many. Whenever you use many, what are you talking about? Many what? Pieces of legislation is nothing but think of it as laws. Think of this sentence as there are many laws. What is a law? A concept, a thing, an idea. So if you, I have 5 fingers, what part of speech is five? 5 fingers, what part of speech is five? There are many students. Okay, student is what part of speech is student? Student क्या part of speech है? Give me the answer to A. What part of speech is student? Student is a, tell me N for noun, P for pronoun, like that, quickly. Student is a noun. If I say there are how many right now? Only 42. My God. Okay. Then they will not give me any more YT classes. They'll say, Savitri ma'am, koi student aapke class aa hi nahi raha hai. Okay, 42 students. 42 tells you about students, more about a noun. It can be in terms of what kind of students, it can be in terms of how many students, it can be anything. So several therefore is an adjective. It is telling you many students, several laws, same thing. So one, several is an adjective in this sentence. Got it? All of you clear? Okay. Second one, when in doubt, change the word to a word you know. Okay. What is a legislation? Keep it as a law. Okay. Law is what part of speech? Option B, preposition, pronoun, noun, adjective. Number, quantity, quality, anything. Anything. Okay. So legislation or law is a noun. So second part is a noun. Awaiting. Awaiting is the same as waiting. Okay. Waiting. I'm waiting for you. Awaiting means are waiting. So what is awaiting? I am waiting for you. I will wait for you. Many students are waiting for you. Yeah, it is an action. So awaiting is a verb. Clearance for the governor's signature, for the governor's approval, for the governor's whatever. Clearance is a no, not an adjective, not an adjective. Clearance, think of it. Okay, let me just quickly give you the difference. I think this is where you're getting confused. I will say, um, it is a clear day. Here, clear is an adjective. Agreed. I am waiting for the police. Okay, here. Police's approval, police's signature, police's question, answer. Therefore, that makes it clearance means that approval. Approval is a noun. All right, I'll give you another example. She is a, a truthful girl. Okay, what part of speech is truthful? She is a truthful girl because truthful is telling you what kind of girl she is. What is truthful? Yes, many of you are giving correct answers, many of you are giving incorrect answers. I'm a little concerned about the incorrect answers. Now, truthful is an adjective. Now, what is the quality that a truthful girl has? She has the quality of honesty or truthfulness. That quality that she has is a noun, it's an abstract noun. Got it? It's not an adjective. Yes, truthful is an adjective, true. The quality that a person has, when you think of it away from that person, becomes a noun. When you use it to describe a person, it becomes an adjective. Like if you say, okay, uh, she or uh, I have a puppy. I have a small puppy. Okay, very cute fellow. So I'll say he is very playful. Okay, when I'm taking class, when I take class, he normally keeps scratching the door. He's very playful. Okay, so playful is talking about the puppy. Therefore, it's an adjective. What is the quality a playful puppy has? Playfulness. Okay, naughty, naughtiness. Naughtiness is a noun, naughty is an adjective. Clear? So we have here several is an adjective. Let me just mark it. Legislation is a noun. Awaiting is a verb. Clearance is a noun. Last one, but kya hai? But can be a preposition or a conjunction. Here, what is but? What part of speech is but in this sentence? It so there are many parts of speech that can take different forms. Okay, here but is a conjunction because it is joining two clauses. So but is a conjunction. When but means except and is followed by a noun, then it's a preposition. I'll give you a sentence for that later. Understood? Okay, now can you quickly also identify the parts of speech in this? I'm writing like this. The old woman, my favorite, okay, slowly walked, okay, up the hill. What is the article? I told you also you can call an article adjective. What is old? What is old? Quickly. A B adjective के लिए A D J. Huh? Old is an adjective. Okay. Because it is talking about woman. What is woman? Huh. Perfect. Perfect. Now I'm getting all right answers. Excellent. Excellent. See, my eyesight is not that great and I'm using the phone right. Woman is a noun. What kind of noun? We'll talk about that. Okay. It's a common noun. Okay. Then slowly tells you how she walked. Correct? So, what is slowly? Excellent answers. I want 40 answers, 43 answers. She slowly tells you how she walked. So slowly is an adverb. How walked? Correct. Perfect. All right. Walked. Next. Walked. Walked is a verb. Now, up the hill. Up. When a word you're not sure of is not an article, not a noun, not a pronoun, it can either be a preposition or an adverb or a conjunction. Okay. When it is a conjunction, it has to join two equal things. When it is followed by an object or a noun, as in this case, then it's a preposition. If I say come down, he came down the stairs. In this case, down is telling you the direction of somebody coming, so it's an adverb. But here, down the stairs, you have an object, so it's a preposition. Many of you gave it right. Thank you so much. All right. The is again article, and hill is a noun. Understood? I think you all are now gurus in parts of speech. We shall not look more at parts of speech. We will look at it later. Okay. All right. Let's now look at, so we've learned parts of speech. When you are looking at grammar, either you do it in terms of parts of speech, noun से क्या question आएगा, pronoun से क्या question आएगा, adverb से क्या question आएगा, so you look at it like that. So always remember, in nouns, the biggest problem you have is two areas. One, in expressing the possessive case, second in expressing collective nouns. Okay. Now, why is this a problem? Because it involves the use of the apostrophe. All right. And apostrophes are the most misused, abused punctuation marks in the English language. Okay, in fact, you know what is graffiti, writing on walls and all in public places, which is not correct. I almost commit graffiti when I go out. When I cross a shop, you shouldn't laugh at it, but I often wonder, why is it? They will say this shop sells delicious dosas. Why? Why that apostrophe? Okay, I don't doubt your the deliciousness of your dosas, but that. Okay, so what should I say? What is the rule of the apostrophe in possessive case and noun? It shows belongingness or for whom it is meant. Correct? In very simple English. So, my favorite school, I taught there for many years. I also studied in a Joseph's institution, is Saint Joseph. I got it wrong. Saint Joseph's. I will not make a mistake here, but what should I say? Girls High School, Girls high school or girls high school? This is A. You have to press like, otherwise you want more classes from me, you have to press like. You don't want, then hey, grammar padhati hai nahi chahiye, then what can I do? A, B, C. What should I say? I am a student, I'm an alumna of St. Joseph's. Should I say this? A, girls high school, B, girls high school without any apostrophe, or K, C, girls with an apostrophe after. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 answers for C, 2 answers for B so far. Shivam is crossing fingers. Why? Where is your answer? Most answers for C. Okay. Now, if you've read the book on, after your exams are done, please read this book. Lynn Truss Eats, Shoots, and Leaves. This is a funny book on punctuation that anybody interested in punctuation should know. Okay, now let's go for the few students who gave A and B as the answer. A is not correct, and this I have taken this example from Lynn Truss's book only. I've changed the name of the school. Girls' high school means it belongs to or is meant for one sad student. There's only one girl in that school. It's meant for this one girl. It's does it girl apostrophe. It's like the girl's bag. Whose bag is that? It's that girl's bag. Us ladki ka. Okay, one girl. Then I will put this. Second one is a plural of girls. There are 30 girls sitting outside. How many girls in this group? If I ask. Second one is not showing that it is meant for girls, or there are 150 girls in that school, or 1500 girls, depending on the size of the school. Third one, we say girls because girls sounds funny. Too much hissing sound, but you put the apostrophe after S, showing that it is meant for all the girls. Got it? This is the common mistake you make. The other one is there is a children park near my house. There is a children's park near my house, or there is a children's park near my house. What should I say? No, there are four. I have heard all versions. There is this is A. Children park is A. B is children's park without an apostrophe. Children apostrophe S. Third one and fourth one children's. What's the correct one? I want more answers quickly before we move on. So this shows the plural of children. There is no meaning to this. There is no meaning to this. It is a park meant for children, so this is correct. Children is the plural, so you'll say apostrophe S. All right. When you're talking of the uh, normally, but in modern English, we break this rule. Yes, children is already plural, so we'll say children's park. Park meant for children. Not S after that. Only after the S is for words which end with plural which ends with an S. So boys, this is the plural, and therefore boyses, instead of saying, I'll not use the second S, I'll put an apostrophe after the S. Understood, Deeptakshi? Children is the plural. Belonging to all children becomes children apostrophe S park. Similarly, women's college. College meant for women. Okay, not women college. Okay, not woman college. but women's college. All right. Now, the second rule not followed actually, because in spoken English we break it a lot, is that inanimate objects you don't use the possessive. So I shouldn't typically be saying the fan's blade is dirty. That is not correct English, though we all say it dirty. We should say the blade of the fan, the handle of the door of the car. Okay. The reason I'm not stressing it, or stressing this rule too much, is that you'll hear the exceptions. I even came across it in the newspaper so many times that you just say. But if it comes as a question of grammar, remember it's the do not sit on the chair. Okay, its leg is broken. We all say it, but the leg of the chair, the blade of the fan is how you should say it. All right. Okay. The other question is collective nouns. Okay, what is a collective noun? You know that a proper, okay, let me just go back. Type of nouns again quickly: proper, common, and collective. Okay, this is the main type. Then also you have countable and uncountable. That is the main ways in which you differentiate nouns. Correct? So, what's a proper noun? Name of a particular person or thing. So, you will say Savitri. Okay. Common noun is my teacher, because it's the name given to anybody who teaches. You can call me a teacher, you can call Abhilasha a teacher, you call Siddharth a teacher, Rahul, Gautam, everybody. Salik. So we are all teachers. So the moment you say teacher, it is the name given in common to a group of people who follow one activity. So all of you are students. Tomorrow, all of you will become lawyers. So these are common nouns, name given in common to a group. When you club that group together and give a name to the group, that becomes a collective noun. Correct? So now, obviously, common sense tells you that a collective noun is a name given to a body as a whole. Therefore, you should treat it as one body and use a singular. Correct? That's what common sense dictates. Right? So, what is this? The department has or have decided, the income tax department. Okay? The department obviously means only one department. Has or have decided to raise taxes. Obviously, we talking of the department as one body here. So, I'll say has decided to raise taxes. Right? All of you okay with that? Give me answers quickly. All right. Now, what is the answer to the second question? The department is or are divided over the question of raising taxes. Question 2. We are on question 2 now. All right. Now, here there is a difference in British and American English, but we are looking at the rules of grammar. If you really have to be follow the strict rules of grammar, when you're talking of the collective noun as one unit, you use a singular verb. But when you're talking of the members individually, you use a plural verb. Are we talking? So you insert the members of the department and see, can one body be divided unless it's a schizophrenic body? So what should you say? The members of the department are divided over the question of raising taxes. Whenever you read in the sentence, there is some kind of conflict, division, or it's an activity that everybody can't do at the same time, like New Jerseys. Okay, the team dash having sandwiches. Okay, or dash wearing new jerseys, then you use are. Okay, as I said, this question in old English they used to say it is singular in all. No, when you're talking of the collective noun as one body, the parliament has elected a speaker, the army has been called out in Manipur, the department has unanimously decided to do something. Okay, but if you say the members, no, you'll still call it the committee. Okay, dash meeting the prime minister individually. So you are actually still using the uh, collective noun. You are still calling it the committee, but what you actually mean is the members of. Okay, so the moment you see individually, the moment you see some kind of conflict or division, then think of the plural verb. Okay, uh, some people call it a group, but yes, I will not differentiate between a group verb and a group noun and a collective noun. So yes, bench, jury, board, we will treat them as collective. They are collective nouns. Let's keep it simple. Okay, okay, which is the correct form here? This is not necessarily collective. This is mm, do you so there are certain things which are always found. Uh, चश्मा को what do you say? Do you say spectacle or spectacles? Spectacle का meaning तो अलग है. Glasses or glasses, whatever you call it, as in reading glasses. Okay, so you should not say scissor. It is scissors. Scissors has two parts joined together. So the scissors are sharp. It is B, not the scissor is sharp. Okay, spectacle means it's a sight kind of a thing. Spectacles, glasses. My spectacles are dirty. They're forever dirty. Okay, God gave me such long eyelashes that every time it hits the thing, it becomes dirty. Okay, my trousers have gone for a wash. Okay, he's bought a pair of new trousers. Tongs. Okay, you hold hot things with tongs. All right. So similarly, you should say the scissors are sharp, not the scissor is sharp. All right. Okay. Same rule apply to this and see if you remember. Shoes to alag hai because a pair of shoes and shoes are. There are two. So it won't be that confusing. Shubhangi. It may not be that confusing, but the fact that it's just one instrument which has two parts in it makes it confusing. So here, kitchen tongs have gone for sharpening, not has gone for sharpening. All right. So basically, things in pairs are used in the plural. All right. Okay. Names of subjects. When you're talking of names of subjects as subjects, okay, mathematics is a difficult subject. Physics is, well, depending. I always found math stuff. Physics is better. Actually, physics is tougher than mathematics. But something like statistics, if you're talking of statistics as a subject, then you use a singular. If you're talking of statistics as numbers, then you use a plural. Economics, people who take economics honors say you have to take statistics because statistics is a mark scoring subject. Suppose I say 120, 140, 170, 250. These statistics show that Jaiswal is in Yashasvi Jaiswal is in great form. Okay. All right. Remember, collective nouns we always talking. Policeman is singular. Policeman. Policemen is plural, but the police as a force is always plural. Don't ask me why. The police are looking for the miscreants, people who committed the crime. All right, always plural. That is amount. I haven't gone to agreement of verb with subject. I'm talking of collectives. Okay, 500 rupees is too much for this. Okay, that's a fight your generation and my generation have. I keep telling my children, how can you pay 300 for a cup of coffee? कॉफी के लिए 10 रुपए से ज्यादा नहीं देना चाहिए, चाय के लिए 10 रुपए से ज्यादा मत दो. What do those big coffee stores where you all go, cafe, coffee day, barista, Starbucks? That's not coffee. You're actually paying for the foam, you're paying for the AC, you're paying for everything, but you're not actually paying for coffee. So 300 bucks is rupees is too much for a cup of coffee. Definitely, my heart will sink if I paid that much. Now you know ma'am is a miser. All right, now the other area, the other big area where you have is, just remember, I'll again go back to this. Let me just say this is R. Okay, you have to remember that nouns are of two types. Those nouns which can be expressed as numbers and whose plural takes an S, we call them countable nouns. Now, you normally talk in terms of countable nouns to answer the question how many. Okay, then you have the uncountable nouns which you express as a quantity, and it normally you answer the question how much. All right, so whenever you are given a question with a blank there which tells you something more about the noun, okay, if it's a fill in the blanks, you will know it's a question of quantifiers, determiners, many, more, much, these words. Be careful. All right, yes, yes. Disappointment is a noun only. Okay. Uh, she faced disappointment and whatever. I don't know how to use it, but disappointment is a difficult emotion to define. Got it? So, those words less, little, less, many, more, much, many, few, a few, lit, a little, these are all quantifiers, determiners. They are words which tell you something more about a noun, generally in terms of how much or how many. All right. So now for question 6, I was disappointed to find out or to discover that I got less, fewer, lesser marks than I had expected. Question 6, please give me the question number. If ma'am is asking this question, I always say less. If she is asking this question, it must be the other two. That's what your mind is saying right now. Right? Okay. Correct. If you look at your Renan Martin, it will tell you that adjectives can be described as positive, comparative, and superlative. Correct. For negative words also, we'll use that term. So, little, I have little money. He has less money than me, but she has the least. Right. So, when do you use little to tell of a number? There were little students in class today. Should I say that? So here, what are we talking about? Marks. You spend all your life counting marks. Well, not you, your parents, your teachers. So if you do spend, is marks a countable noun or an uncountable noun? Is marks a countable noun or an uncountable noun? Takes an S, you express it in numbers, therefore it's a countable noun. So would you use less to describe something you can count? Less is used to describe an amount. So what should you be saying? Actually, this is correct. Few is used to describe numbers. Now, because you are comparing, you expected 100, you got 90, right? So 100 marks is fewer. 100 number, the number is fewer. But why do we use less? Because you think of marks as a quantity. There are fewer students today than there were yesterday. Got it? Okay, next one. Read the entire sentence and then tell me what's the answer. Entire sentence. We can't do anything. Be prepared for the inevitable. A little means a small amount. Little means hardly any, almost zero. Right? So here the doctor is saying chances of recovery. So a little is gives you hope and little gives you no hope. Do you get the idea that this sentence is positive in tone or negative? Is the be prepared for the inevitable. There is no cure for him. So a little has a positive connotation. If the doctor says there's a little hope of success or recovery, you'll be happy. But if the doctor says there is little hope of recovery, then there is nothing. No, here it is negative. Be prepared. We were sad. Be prepared for the inevitable. He's not going to recover. All right. Therefore, it will be little. Otherwise, a little. Huh. What should I say for 8, which is true? The numbers are dwindling. It's terrible to see that. But you need to know grammar. You said you wanted grammar. I could have done lots and lots of RC, but what's the point repeating the same RC? But I have passages also. There were fewer participants today than there were yesterday. What is the answer? Than yesterday. So the moment you know that you are comparing, so when do you use just adjectives? When you are comparing the state of a thing. When you are comparing two things, then you use a comparative, which is what you have to use here. So few you can't say. There were few students today, बहुत कम students थे, इसलिए I cancelled the session. That is different. But the answer is कल से कम थे. That is fewer. Therefore, the correct answer is C. All right. Okay. What will you say for this? At the beginning of the month, I had some money. Now I have less, lesser, or few. Question 9. Money. Money. Okay. Then the question comes between less and lesser. Okay. I have a Renan Martin which was printed before you people were born, maybe before I was born also, where the author says little, the comparative is less or lesser. But now no one uses the term less. Less itself is a comparative. So don't, there is no need to use this. Lesser is actually used only when you want to say inferior, children of a lesser god, we are lesser mortals. But less itself is a comparative. So I have less marks. Lesser is redundant. Nobody uses lesser. Lesser is bad English. Lesser is used to mean inferior. Okay. All of you clear? Don't use lesser. Less itself is a comparative. Little What is the comparative for that? Less and then the least. All right. Okay. Now, when generally there are two, three ways in which you use adjectives and adverbs. The biggest problem with adjectives is when you are using it in comparisons. Correct? Just like the problem you had now. Okay. So remember, most adjectives take er and est. General adjectives: old, older, oldest, great, greater, greatest. All right. But there are certain, and when you use er and est, generally you say greater than, older than. Okay. But there are certain adjectives that take two in the comparison. So you have to be careful about that. Okay. He is older than me, but elder to me. Now, what will you say about me? I'm older than you or elder to you? Which one would you prefer? Or which one is correct in terms of English? Older than or elder to? Older than. Okay. Why not elder to? Is elder to wrong? Those of you who said older than, is elder to incorrect? So remember, older than is used for things, people, places. Elder to is used for family members only. All right, close relations, family members. So, Calcutta as a city is older than Bangalore. This monument is older than the other one, or somebody is older than somebody else. Elder to you use only for family members. That is one. So second thing that you use in adjectives is sometimes you use double comparatives, which is incorrect. More harder, more easier, more better. Should not use double comparatives. Okay, he is a more better batsman than me. That is wrong. The third problem is the adjective adverb confusion, and that is quite complicated in some sentences. I have chosen one, I'll explain that. Okay. Also, remember, when you are using comparisons have to be logical. You have to compare like elements, and when you express that comparison, there has to be a parallel structure. The way you compare, this is better than that, the this and that have to be mentioned in identical ways. All right. Okay. Is is anything wrong with this sentence? Is it correct? Either it is correct as it is. If it is incorrect, tell me what is the correction. Is this sentence correct? And if it's correct, of course there's no discussion. If it isn't correct, what is incorrect? How would you correct it? Just the word that you would correct, you only have to mention that one. I found a rare 100 years old coin in the antique shop. Ah, okay. Ritvika got it right. Okay. If you are how much? You are 17 years old, most of you are. So you would describe yourself as a 17-year-old boy or girl, not 17 years old. Understand? If If your friend sells carpets, then your friend is a carpet seller, not carpets seller. Got it? Understood? When you use it as an adjective, you don't use the plural. No, nothing, no sorry about it. You gave it correct. No, you gave incorrect. Yes, correct only. All right. Students find geometry more easier than algebra. Or is it the other way around? I don't know. Geometry is more easier than algebra, or algebra is more easier than geometry? What is there a mistake here? Is it correct as it is? If there is a mistake, how would you correct it? Students find geometry more easier than algebra. Is this correct? Incorrect? How would you correct it? The more is redundant. Okay, because, and this is a case of a double comparative. This is making the mistake of a double comparative. All right. Case of a double comparative. Excellent. Next one. The population of Delhi is greater than Bangalore. Is it correct? If it's incorrect, how would you correct it? You are, this is a case of an illogical comparison. Okay, so you are comparing the population of Delhi with the city Bangalore. You have to first make it logical and parallel. Population of Delhi, then that of Bangalore. If I use bad English and say Delhi's population, then it becomes Bangalore's population. All right? Okay. Next. Correct? If it's incorrect, how would you correct it? People were all sitting closely to one another in the auditorium. Is this sentence correct or incorrect? If it's incorrect, how would you correct it? Okay, I will remove all. Any other error? Any other error? Then it's okay. People know in general, two people. What is the difference between close and closely? Do you say closely? Ha, finally, Aisha got it. Okay. You don't say, ha, now no, that's your name. Huh? No, and now each other is fine. No, one another is fine. Each other nahi hoga because there are a lot more than, when it's only two, then it's each other. Okay, closely is incorrect. When you're talking of proximity, it is close. All right, not closely. Are you studying hard or are you hardly studying? There's a difference, no? You think you're studying hard, your parents would say they are hardly studying. All right. No, just tell me the errors because I'm trying to cover as many concepts as possible. So, in the exam, if AILET wants to ask you a question related to it, one, it can change close to closely if that is there in the passage, but I'm just showing you the areas in which errors can be introduced. These are the most often, when CLAT and AILET had a separate grammar section, these kind of, in fact this was a CLAT question. there would be repeated questions on confused words or misused words. See, the most common misused word is this. I want to lose weight, people write this. Everybody wants to lose weight. Okay, so that way, close and closely is the most commonly misused word. Okay, so adjective adverb confusion is here. It is close, not closely. All right, next one. Is this sentence correct or wrong? If it's incorrect, how would you correct it? Yeah, just when you read the sentence, if it's correct, you tell me correct. If it's incorrect, you tell me which part has an artist signature. Signature of the artist, artist signature is fine. Okay, this apostrophe had not been there, then that's a mistake. Actually, in a typo, once I was doing this test, some other thing, I forgot the apostrophe. And then people looked at that. Is there any other error here? Should I say close here or should I say closely here? Artist's signature, artist apostrophe s, artist ka signature. Look at the look closely at the picture is correct. Closely means carefully. Okay, look closely at something means look at something very carefully. All right, so this sentence is correct. Now we come to articles and prepositions. If I were an AILET question setter, I would either choose a sentence from the passage, all right, and insert an error and then say which is the correct one, or insert an error in the original or remove. But it basic thing that is tested are 4 or 5 rules in articles, which I'm going to do with you today. General rule of articles, you know that a, an, and the. Any singular countable noun has to take an article before it. Correct? A and an are used to mean one or certain, not very specific. The is used to tell a specific thing. So I saw a man and a dog on the road. The man was carrying the dog. After you first tell me a man and a dog, okay, in general, then you say the man was carrying the dog. Whenever I go for a walk, that's what I see. After a while, the pets say we won't walk, so people keep carrying their pets. Okay, okay. Mukti has come up with an answer. Others, should uh, do I need an article anywhere here, or is this correct? So, so remember, for decades you have to have a the before it. All right, good. Next. So when you say member of parliament, the word starts with a consonant sound, so it is correct. But when you say this, the word starts with a vowel sound, so it is an MP and an MLA. Perfect. Okay. An MP, and my uncle is an MP and my aunt is an MLA. Okay, but if you say member of parliament, my uncle is a member of parliament and my aunt is a member of the legislative assembly. So that's what I wanted to tell you. All right. 17. Is there an error? What is the error? If there is an error, what is the error? If there is no error, tell me it's a correct sentence. I have given a few correct sentences, but I don't know if this is one of them. Okay, here the error is, as many of you pointed out, cope up is wrong. It is just cope. Okay, or maybe keep up, but cope up is incorrect English. It is just cope. All right, next. Can you be slower? Slowly is really slow. Here you're saying you're going too fast. Thoda kam karo pace. So slower is correct. Okay. Two errors here. One error in articles and one error in prepositions. I want you to tell me both. Okay. Whenever you use a superlative, you have to use an article, and wine is made from grapes. Okay. So somebody was asking that you've given me different answers. So made of, made from, and made up of. Made of is, this table is made of wood when the substance doesn't change. Made from is when that is the original ingredient and it goes through a process, it changes, then you use from. Made up of is when things have different parts which are assembled together, then you say made up of. So here, best wine is incorrect. We say the best wine is made from good quality ripe grapes. All right. All right. Next one. Mansoor Ali Khan Pataudi is Saif Ali Khan's father. Fantastic cricketer. He was a very good captain. He was India. He could be called India's first aggressive captain. We only know him as Saif Ali Khan's father, but he was a person in his own right. Great, great cricketer. Uh, so when somebody suffers from blindness, one eye only, we say, so it means, of course, he's only seeing with one eye, but we say blind in one eye. All right? In one eye. Blind in one eye. Not with, not for, not from. He's suffering from blindness. That means he is blind in one eye, not both. And so he would take stance by looking at the good eye. The other one he couldn't see. So his head was always tilted to one side. Okay. So when you use, this is sometimes given to uh, when they give you a longer sentence and ask you to to make to express it more succinctly, briefly, more concisely. Things that are worn, you say in. Things that are carried, you say with. The man with the suitcase, with an umbrella. Of is used to describe age and characteristics. All right. Okay. The lady in the red sari, the men in blue, men in black, that movie that was there. Okay, now we come to tenses, which is important, where lot of questions are asking what tense is this. All right, so what I've done is to make life easier, I've just given you a tense chart so it's easier. You can use any person, I, you, he, she, and any verb. But generally, okay, what does the tense of a verb tell you? It tells you the time of an action. Accordingly, you have three tenses, right? Past, present, past, and future. But the tense of a verb also tells you the state of an action. Depending on whether it tells you only the time or the time and the state, there are every tense has four forms: simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous. I'm using British English. Uh, so simple present is I write. Present continuous, I am writing. That means the action is going on as I'm teaching. I'm teaching. I'm talking. I have written is called present perfect tense. It is this verb, the helping verb, which forms the tense. The second verb does not. Okay. So have written. So means it is now. It has a connection with now. It was done, action is complete, but it has a connection with now. I have been writing means the action started in the past, but it is still continuing now. All right. Past is I wrote, I was writing, I had written, and I had been writing. So remember, the changes in the tense only happen, changes in the form only happen with this auxiliary, the helping verb. You have to be careful about that. Okay. Future will be I will write. So I'll say you use simple present tense to describe a profession, to describe habits. All right. Continuous to talk of actions which are going on now or in the process. So I'm taking law coaching in Career Launcher. Okay. I have sent means the action is complete, but there is some. I have hurt my finger. That means I'm bleeding now. I have lost my phone. That means I still haven't found it. Okay. So I have been writing this, and this. If I say I have been writing as it is, that sentence is hanging. That's the form, correct. But if I say I am writing, that means I'm writing now. But I have been writing is incomplete since unless I tell you I have been writing since when. I've been writing since the time I was a child. Got it? So generally, but if you know the context, for example, I'm teaching you in an offline class and I come totally wet and you say, ma'am, what happened? Then I'll say I've been walking in the rain. Then I don't have to tell you for the last 20 minutes or since morning. That's not necessary. But when you're writing, the student has been waiting for you since 5 p.m. That has to be mentioned. Past, remember, this has to be used only when there are two actions and one action happened before the other. There's a time lag. Otherwise, you should express things in simple past tense. If you are using past continuous, I was writing, I was talking, then you have to tell the time when that action was going on. Suppose I ask you, what were you doing at 4:30 yesterday? Then you'll say, we were attending Abhilasha ma'am's class. Or what were you doing at 10 p.m. last night? I was watching a movie. Got it? But that time has to be mentioned. Otherwise, you can just write I wrote. If I say, what did you do yesterday? I studied, not I was studying. Got it? Then future, you normally don't make mistakes. I will write or shall write. With I, you can use will or shall. Nobody uses shall now, so will is fine. I will be writing, will have written, and will have been writing. So, for example, if you plan to do something tomorrow, so you'll tell your friend, I bought a movie ticket. I'll be watching the movie at this time tomorrow. Okay. We will have finished, we will have written, we will have completed a year in NLU Delhi at this time next year, by this time next year. Correct. So that's how you express an event in the future. All right. Modifiers, parallelism. Okay, let me just quickly tell you what is the difference between a phrase and a clause. Quickly, we'll do this. Now, what are the words which give additional information? Adjectives and adverbs. Correct. So, when you express a sentence, you modify or you add to the description of a noun using adjective adjective phrases, adjective clauses, or you talk about actions using adverbs, adverb phrases, adverb clauses. All right. So, what is the difference between a phrase and a clause? A phrase is a group of words which makes sense but not complete sense. More importantly, a phrase that will not have a main verb in it. That means it will not have what is called a finite verb in it. The verb, if it has a verb in it, that verb will be, the form of the verb won't change with tense and number. Generally, it doesn't have a verb. Suppose you get misled by any word which you think is a verb, the verb will be an ing word, which will have the same form in all persons and all tenses. So, for example, I'll just tell you the difference between I have a beige puppy. Okay, actually it's beige and cream, but it's easier. Let me call it brown. I hope he will not mind it. I have a brown puppy. Okay, so what part of speech is brown? It's an adjective. Now, because it's just one word describing the puppy. Suppose I want to say change this into a phrase, then I have to use a group of words. But that group of words will not have a verb in it. Any word which indicates action going on, and nothing like that. So, what will I say? I have a puppy with brown fur. All right. Now, this with brown fur, where is the bird? It is on the tree. Now, on the tree is a group of words which tells you something. Something is there on the tree, but nothing more. There is no verb if you notice, and there is no subject here. Okay. Same way, with brown fur can refer to anything. If I don't tell you I have a puppy, if I don't add it, just this with brown fur can refer to anything, but it gives you some meaning. There is no subject here in this expression, just these three words. So it is called a phrase. There is no verb here, no main verb here. So then you say it's a phrase. I want to change this into a clause. Then what will I do? I have to insert a subject and a verb. So I will say, I have a puppy which has brown fur. Which here refers to the puppy, relative pronoun. So it's the subject, has is acting as the verb of possession. So it shows. So I've changed an adjective to an adjective phrase to an adjective clause. Now, when you express a sentence using modifiers or these adjectives, adverbs, adverb phrases, and clauses, you make different kinds. You may make mistakes, or your knowledge of these modifiers is tested through inserting mistakes. What should you say? The modifier has to be very specific about its subject. What is it modifying? And it has to be placed as close to the subject as possible. If you do not place the modifier next to the subject, it ends up modifying some other subject, then it becomes a misplaced modifier. So, I'm not Ranveer Singh, but yeah, I bought a shirt in a shop with polka dots. Now, what is the main information I want to give you? I bought a shirt. Correct. Then I'm giving you additional information. Where did I buy it? In a shop. Fine. I'm fine till there. Then with polka dots is telling you extra things. But is the shop wearing polka dots? Is the shop having polka dots? That's not what I meant. So this is a case of a misplaced modifier. I bought a shirt with polka dots in a shop. That's so the one error you make is in misplaced modifiers. The other error can happen when you use dangling modifiers. Just the names, guys, don't get worried. What's a dangling modifier? A modifier that starts the sentence. Generally, the modifier would start with an ing word and it would not have a subject, so it attaches itself to the subject here. If this subject and this modifier do not match, that becomes an error. Okay, so if I say, what is the main information? From a shop. Yes, perfect. Thank you, Nandini. All right, from a shop is correct. I bought it from a shop. All right, walking on the road. This is the extra. What is the main information you're trying to give me? A water balloon fell on her head. The balloon should have two L's. I know. Okay, fell on her head. All right, this is the main information. What is the modifier? Walking on the road. Now, this doesn't have a subject. Who was walking on the road has not been mentioned. So, this is a dangling modifier. It's dangling because it doesn't have a subject. So, it attaches itself to the subject that is mentioned here. That means your sentence is saying the water balloon was walking on the road and fell on her head. Correct. So this is another error with modifiers. How do you correct it? Either change this modifier into a clause while she was walking on the road. So you have said who is walking on the road. That is clear. While she was walking on the road, a water balloon fell on her head. There is no error now. Right? Or walking on, no, in this you can't change it. In some other sentence you can change it. She was hit on the head by a water balloon. That you can say. All right, so one error in modifiers is misplaced modifiers. Another common error is dying. There are other errors, but these are the two common errors you make in modifiers. All right, I'll go back to parallelism. Correct this sentence for me. Sitting on the grass, a snake bit him. What is the main information? What is the additional information? Is what does the sentence indicate? How can I uh, convey the correct information? So, a snake bit him is the main info. Then somebody asks you how, who, when. You'll say, oh, sitting on the grass. So, correct it now for me. Perfect. Now, correct it for me. While So one way is while he was sitting on the grass, a snake bit him. Or keep the sitting in the on the grass as it is, then change the second part to this remains as it is. He was bitten by a snake. A snake bit him while he was sitting on the grass, or sitting on the grass, he was bitten by a snake. All right. All right. Next. So, first look at the sentence and ask yourself, what are they trying to test here? Okay, so first thing you'll say, this involves a time sequence, and you notice the past perfect tense here. All right, so then what is the, are there two actions here? If there are two actions, you say archaeologist discovery is one action and ancient Mayans using fire. No, there are only one. There is only one action here. What did they discover? That the Mayans used fire. So there's only a report of what the Mayans did. So no had has to be used here. Remember, the time lag, the only use for past perfect tenses when two actions happen, and you want to say which action happened earlier. It's the lag will be little, something like I went to the station but the train had left. Okay, by the time the cops reached, the pickpocket had run away or whatever. All right. Okay. Doctorate, graduation, law, whatever, degree. Are there two actions, Shubhangi? Only one action. तो had नहीं होगा. Had नहीं होगा. Had is only when there are two actions. So the next rule is present perfect tense has to be connected with now. So it cannot have any adverb of past time. So either you say, I have completed my doctorate full stop, or I completed my doctorate in 2019. Have completed in 2019 is wrong. Okay, I have lost my phone is correct. I have my lost my phone yesterday is wrong. I lost my phone yesterday. All right. So never use present perfect tense with any word which indicates past tense. Then it shows that it's already an action that's completed. Past takes over. You don't have, it doesn't show any relation with the present, so you should not use that. Got it? Understood, everybody? Okay. Modifier question. Some more answers quickly. I have to wait for a minute, but I thought 1 minute means it will take too much time. Maybe for the passages we will do. At 5 o'clock, we'll try to start the passages. What is the main information you're trying to give, which is the modifier? First, identify that. What is the main information? I decided to wear a sweater. Why did you decide to wear a sweater? Because it was a hot day, cold day, sorry. All right. But what are you doing here? what the modifier is being, this is a dangling modifier, there is no subject here. So what is the subject? I. So you are saying you are a hot day. Correct. Being a cold day. So as it was a cold day or is a cold day, I decided to wear a sweater. Got it? It was a cold day, so I decided to wear the sweater. That's also correct. Jasmeet. All right. Parallelism says when you describe items in a series, they have to be described in an identical manner or fashion. When you're describing any items in a series, you have to describe them. You have to describe them in identical form, okay? Because the sentence has to be balanced. Similarly, same tense, same form, same tense, if you are using the same part of speech. For example, you're describing using adjectives, then all adjectives. You're using adjective phrases, then they have to be all adjective phrases. All right, if you're using active voice, then all the items of all the actions have to be described in the same form. All right, that is the balance. If you're using ing words, I like doing ABC, ABC has to be mentioned in the same manner. Okay. Is there anything wrong with this sentence? If so, how will you correct it? That could be, but here just means we are talking about her questions. Her questions were, so A, B, and C have to be same. Stupid, okay, boring, okay, adjective, adjective. So this will be ignorant. How can questions be ignorant, ma'am? If questions can be stupid and questions can be boring, they can be ignorant. Now, what is wrong by saying they proved? If you want to say they proved that she was ignorant, make that another sentence. Say her questions were stupid and boring. Full stop. They proved that she was ignorant. Here, you're making it part of this series. So, as part of this series, this and has to be followed by an identical part of speech. Got it? Next question. Okay. This is an active voice. This is an passive voice. Therefore, it is incorrect. So you'll say, I went to the bank and withdrew money. Okay. All right. Now, when you use pronouns, there are three mistakes you make. One is in agreement, the pronoun has to agree with the verb. Okay, no, a pronoun has to agree with the noun that it replaces. Sorry, and it has to also agree with the verb, of course. All right. So if I talk of Shah Rukh Khan, I have to say he, Deepika Padukone, she, in both uh, tense, number, everything. Second, the reference has to be very clear. Who do I mean by the pronoun he or she or they? And third, is you should use the right case of the pronoun. Either it should be I or me, which one? Okay, or they or them. This use has to be correct. These are the three rules you need to keep in mind. Let's look at the first question. Let you and I try to help the poor man. Is this correct? It has to agree. So here the pronouns are you and I. Two pronouns are there. Have they been used correctly? Okay, one is us. All right, agreed. Shreya and no, one is us is correct. But if I want to use this form only, what should I do? Is this correct? Instead of us. Yes. So this is you and I or X and Y or X, Y and Z is called a compound subject. When you have a compound subject, use the pronoun as if it's occurring alone. So what will you say? Let me try to help the poor man. So let you and me try to help the poor man. All right. My father and I went to the mall, right? Uh, my dad or my mom bought this for my brother and me, not I. First one, I went to the mall. My dad and I went to the mall. My dad, mom, brother, sister, and I went to the mall because it goes treat I as if it's occurring alone. Same way, my mom bought this for me. My mom bought this for my mom and my brother and me. My mom bought this for my brother, sister, and me. Okay, so whenever you have this confusion, treat the pronoun in a compound subject, treat the pronoun as if it's occurring alone, treat it as if it's independent, and then decide if I want to use I or me, they or them. All right, that's the first rule. Right, same rule. He instead of he, you have to use him. Clear, all of you? Good. Next. Here, should I use she or her? Okay, I don't want to confuse you. See, she told us that the YT session was cancelled. Today there was some confusion actually. All right. So when you use it for dramatic effect, if a sentence starts with it is or it was, use the subjective form. So you takes the same form anyway. He, they, these are called the subjective forms of the verb. Me, her, him, them, this has we and us. These are called the objective form. So when you use it in it is or it was, use the subjective form of the verb. So the sentence is correct as it is, not it was her. All right. All right. Is this sentence correct? Who, Shreya? Who hit? Who was drunk? Diptakshi, who was drunk? Does the sentence tell us, Shreya, Diptakshi, does the sentence tell us who was drunk? Did the hitting happen because the mother was furious that no, the question, Nandini, is tell me, is this sentence giving me a clear information about who was drunk? We know that the mother hit the daughter. There are two subjects here. The mother is there, the daughter is there, and the mother hit the daughter. That part is clear. Why did she hit her? Because she was drunk. Who was drunk? The mother or the daughter? Does the sentence tell me clearly who was drunk? You did. This is a case of ambiguous reference because Arman, that is correct. The sentence is incorrect if it is not clear who this she cannot be used here because it could stand for either the mother or the daughter. Therefore, when you have an ambiguous reference, sentence is incorrect. Normally, they would give you options where it is clear who's drunk, you choose that. The other one is I tell students he saw Amitabh Bachchan driving out of his house. Whose house? Most people say Amitabh Bachchan. Could be Amitabh Bachchan went to Karan Johar's house. Here I can't use Amitabh. Here I'll name. I can't say AB because AB could be anything. So if I say Amitabh Bachchan, okay, driving out of his house. So ambiguous reference is also incorrect. So this sentence is ambiguous, hence incorrect. All right. Okay. Remember December 8th, everything score calculator, detailed exam analysis, live paper solving of all sections, pre register, exam day corner, pre register. Quickly, let's do 10 questions on prepositions. I'll give you about 20 seconds per question, and I want as many students, that many answers. Quick, before we start reading comprehension. We've covered all possible questions they can ask in terms of grammar. At least try to do one. I've actually chosen the same passage and changed the questions to main point, theme, style, tone. All right? Quick, 28 seconds. Shall I give you 30 seconds for this question? I want more answers. Quick, quick, quick. It is in the event, okay, not at the event, though you hear at the event quite often. Okay, next one. There are lots of possibility depending on what the dog did, but what is the most common sense thing that you think the dog would do? I mean, what's the general thing that you would say? Give me the question number 32, huh? The dog ran across the road, right? ऑल राइट, ओवर द रोड क्यों नहीं होगा, बिसाइड द रोड क्यों नहीं होगा, हो सकता है, बट जनरली when you cross from one side to the other, that's what you meant. All right, I'll give you 30 seconds for this and I want to see 30 answers. जल्दबाजी में किया गया है काम. I'm just can't run over beside, but people are saying like over the cement, so why can't it be that? Okay, run over, the expression is not one. Okay, all right, the work was done. Run over has not been used as one sentence, as one word, as a phrase. Run over, that expression is different. The work was done. Some more answers. Good, good. I want to see more answers. The work was done in haste. Good, at least some answers are coming in. People are awake and alive. Okay. Next. Again 30 seconds. 34. The rule is you use all right. Mode of transport is by, but in his car, all right, and on foot. These are the three that I used. By, not inside. All right. I shall return in, on, by, at. This was the meaning. You're giving your parents a deadline. What is the difference between this? In means within. Okay, एक घंटे के अंदर आ जाऊंगा. That is what you're saying. By is a deadline. Okay, submit your application forms by January or by December 31st. Got it? So it's not by, it is in means within an hour. 36. The goat eats very rough food, right? Its tongue and it can bite and chew pretty coarse food. It essentially dash on dash very coarse food. It essentially subsists means exists. What you eat and survive, that is called subsist. So the goat 36. It subsists on. Okay. Okay. We say India has millions of people, lot of natural wealth. So India is a glorious land, teeming dash natural wealth. Question 37. Teeming means full. That's the meaning. Splitting at the sides, literally. So what is the preposition to be used with teeming? Okay, 30 seconds up. Teeming with. All right. Oh, I didn't have time to set this right. All right. Milk is beneficial. Two options are the same. Do not uh, bother. Two off for इस तीनों को ही देखो. Useful for but beneficial to. All right. Not for. To. Good for health but beneficial to health. Okay. All right. She has a great fondness dash children. She has, I'm giving you 30 seconds and I want to see 40 answers. She has a great fondness of, to, for, or with. Okay, 30 seconds up. Fond of, but fondness for. All right. You're fond of children, that means you have a fondness for. I am fond of puppies and dogs in general, that means I have a fondness for. Fond of is correct, but fondness for. I'm fond of coffee. I prefer coffee to tea. I'm fond of dogs. I'm fond of cats. Yeah, fond of is correct. But fondness for. Yes. Oh, the options are not given. Okay. Good law students, these are. All right. Let's see. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. I've got only two answers so far. Asahi, Shreya, Subhangi, three answers so far. Jasmeet, Dileshwari, Shakun, Deeptakshi, Divyansh, Ekisha, Nandini, all right. Invested with means given. All right. Okay. Exam day corner, 5-minute break. Drink some water. Make sure you stay locked with CLs. Not in, only with. Arman, with, no in. Wrong American English is in. All right. Invested in him are great powers, but he is invested with certain powers. All right. We will have all this and more. So register and be there with us on exam day. All right. After this section, I have passages. One from 2024. I've changed the question. The passage remains the same. You might have done it. I'll just talk about how are you going to quickly and accurately solve main point, tone, and style questions. The next two, three passages are based on passages from 2023, which have a lot of vocabulary references. Even the questions had a lot of sentences from the passage and which one best explains this kind of question. All right. So, mm, shall we start the next section, or someone's taking a break? It's 5:09. I think I gave a break at 5:08. Any questions, any doubts till now in grammar? You can ask while we are taking the break. You can ask me any questions and doubts while we are taking the break. Okay, just give me a second. I will be back. All right. Are you ready to start? We have 1 more minute. We will start with a passage that appeared in 2024. It was an interesting passage. It had a lot of questions, I think 10 questions, but I have used only 5 of them, if I remember right. All right. Okay. I still haven't taught you conditional sentences. Maybe if there's a question on that, I can ask you. All right. Is everyone here? Have you joined back? Everyone? Yes? Shall we start? Give me a heads up. All right. I'll show you this passage for 3 minutes. There's a little bit left, I think. No. 3 minutes. Okay. Read quickly, process whatever you can, and then we'll see the questions. Okay, good. Excellent. Good, good. 20 seconds more. 15 seconds. All right. Question 1. What is the central theme of the passage? I'll give you a minute to answer this question. Okay, excellent. What is the central theme? Linguistics is the comprehensive study of aspects of human knowledge and behavior. This is too general. The development of generative grammar by Chomsky has been mentioned. Its influence on linguistics has been mentioned. This is not the main theme, though. It's one of the points mentioned. So it can be called too narrow. The transformation of linguistics into a multidisciplinary field throughout the second paragraph. He has shown the other disciplines and how they have been used, and its implications and applications in science and technology. So C is the correct answer. All of you got it right. Excellent. All right. D is incorrect. It's become from a prescriptive to a descriptive, not the other way around. All right. What can you categorize this passage as? I'll give you 30 seconds to 40 seconds for this question. What kind of passage is this? Narrative, descriptive, analytical, expository. There are closed options. There is a link. Each of these elements is there, maybe, but which one best describes it? It goes beyond description, Arman. So, which word is close to detailed description? Almost everybody has answered one option. I know why, but um, when you so basically, what's the passage trying to do? Okay, I've given you enough time. Okay, I am not. Let's say first paragraph. What is linguistics? Second, he explains the expanding range of linguistics. Then there's a little bit of analysis. The advent of modern linguistics has changed something. Then again, he describes and explains how linguistics has transformed. So, expository is information, explanation, in detail. If you ask me, B is a better option than analytical or it's not descriptive. So it's there is analysis, but more than that, there is explanation. So D is the correct answer. See, when you have detailed description, there is no analysis would be when he goes deep into the evolution of linguistics. He has done a little bit of that, but he has just explained how linguistics has evolved rather than analyze it. Get it? So I think in that particular year this was called analytical, but expository was not given as a uh, uh, I don't remember what. I have given my own thing. What is the tone here? What is the tone of the author? What do you think is the tone of the author? I'll give you 30 seconds for this question. All right, guys, all of you who gave C, no, expository is not. Actually, this is a perfect example of an expository essay. The only doubt I had is in the actual question and answer that was given in CLAT, I had not agreed with it. So I have stuck to expository, or maybe it wasn't given, I have added my own. That's the perfect example of an expository passage. All right. Tone, is it A or D? I will make it easy for you. A or D? Okay, ironical, critical to hai nahi. Is it A or D? Didactic, many students would mark, but here, didactic is a story which has a moral, which intends to teach you a lesson. वो नहीं है. That is not the intention of the author. The author is uh, just telling you linguistics did this. This is what happened. This is what happened. So he has not personally tried to teach us anything. He has given us information. And informative. The reason I added didactic there is to tell you the difference. The intent, the tone of the author is the author's attitude towards the subject. Authors, the subject is linguistics and its evolution, right? So when you're thinking of the linguistics and its evolution, think of it like what has the author's attitude been to tell us, okay, this is what happened, this is what. So to inform us and without adding his own personal bias. Didactic is he says, you shouldn't do it, this is not correct. So is there a moral? Is there any intention to teach you a lesson or a moral? Then didactic would work. But this is just objective. He has not given his personal opinion at all. He has not asked us to learn anything from it. He has just given us information. Get it? So the correct answer is objective. Easy, but this is the reason I kept the question as it is to tell you what kind of contextual vocabulary questions can you expect. And you have to be only a little careful. It looks so easy that in your excitement you sometimes mark the wrong answer. Make sure you don't do that. Ensure you do the right thing. What does it imply? He's asking, or what does it not imply? He's asking. That's the only thing you need to watch out for. All right, 30 seconds I'll give you. We know that obviously, okay, 30 is done. Ever evolving obviously doesn't mean stagnant, but if the question says does not imply, that will work. Ever evolving means changing continuously, therefore dynamic. Perfect. All right, let's look at a meaning of a sentence, but again, easy. All you have to do is read the passage properly, and you had 10 questions on this passage. I removed many of them, added my own. Question 5. Again, I'll give you 30 to 40 seconds. Okay? Does not currently infer. Don't make silly mistakes. I think this is the perfect time to do RC. You all are tired after 2 hours of class, 2.5 hours of class. This is just like the last passage of AILET. You're tired, you're hungry, you're sick, and now you say, Acha, she's giving us this boring passage. It's not boring actually. All right, okay, done. See, all of you got that right. Excellent. God bless you. Question 5, indeed, C is the answer. All right. Question 6, be careful. I want all correct answers. I think you owe that to me and owe it to yourselves to give me the correct answer for question C. I'll give you 45 seconds for question C and I want 36 answers. We've already given 5 minute break, Arman. Abhi next is break only, 6 o'clock. 5 to 10 minutes before 6 we should finish. ठीक है? जल्दी जल्दी खत्म कर दो. As soon as possible. You have another from 6 to 9, is it? So I'll leave you 10 minutes before. Okay. You have a session at 6 with whom? Okay, I'll leave you little. That depends on you, how quickly you finish the. All right. Now, the particular year I remember many students had marked A. Okay, linguistic. Here the tapestry is to show its intricacy, and the intricacy part is only given in D. Got it? So you have to be slightly careful for the traps. Okay. Synergy and confluence. You don't even have to look at the passage. That's why you can answer this question even without looking at the passage. 30 seconds. Yeah, I'll let you go at 5:45. You get a 15-minute break before Govind's class. All right. But we have to finish the questions that we've prepared. And to quickly, I'll do the three conditional sentences. GK is important. Okay. But I hope you got a good inkling of grammar. एक review हो गया, जल्दी हो गया, anything they'll ask, you can answer. Please see the tense chart again so you know which is what tense. All right. Obviously, synergy and confluence have to do with harmony, going together. So, harmonious is the word you're looking for. All right. What is symbiotic? He says the relationship between humans and machines is symbiotic. So, you know the meaning of symbiotic. Also, look at what has described, and therefore, which is the answer. First, what is symbiotic? Symbiotic means mutually beneficial. Okay, so B is the answer. Symbiosis, symbiotic, all means mutually beneficial. All right, stay locked on exam day. Let's quickly do passage 2, which is again easy, very easy. I'll give you 2 minutes to read this passage. We are coming to the last stretch. So I'll give you about 2 minutes to read this passage. You've read this passage before, maybe. It's from AILET 23. Yeah, 23. 23 की 24 नंदिनी याद नहीं है. 24. 24. Yeah. 23 was I found 23 more interesting than 24, but 24 only. Yeah. So many words. I hope you know the meanings of these. These shouldn't act like speed breakers, the ones that I underline. Coveted, indomitable, relentless, tethered, lots of good words. 2 minutes up. I haven't given you, I'm rushing you through it. Let's see. Okay. The tone of the passage: informative, reflective, persuasive, or ironic. What is the. Oh, what have I done? Hey, I'm sorry. Not this passage. This, sorry, this is not the passage. Okay, this is gone. I had planned it for y'all. Okay, and this is not the passage. What is the tone of the passage? Author talks about pursuit of excellence, what it is doing to us. Is it good? Is it bad? He says it is bad. Therefore, the tone is reflected. Oh my God. What is the purpose? Do not look at this passage. This is the wrong passage. Okay. What is the purpose of relentless? Relentless means what? Why has the author used relentless? 30 seconds. Relentless, it doesn't give up. So, to 30 seconds, and then I. Okay. Can you give me an I word for relentless that we've done in class? I don't know if we've done or not. Yeah. Relentless. Look up this word. All right. Okay. Next. This is not the one we bothered about. Yeah. Let's look at the questions. Past perfect tense. Which of these sentences has the correct use of past perfect tense? 30 seconds. Perfect. Question 11. Question 11. I'll give you 45 seconds for this if you need it. Yes. So, in other words, Deeptakshi, inexorable means relentless. Something that cannot stop will not stop. All right. Relentless pursuit is deeply woven into our society. My pen is acting wonky is a simple present. It is stating a fact. No matter how confident or assured, the allure is irresistible. Simple present stating a fact. The human pursuit of accolades, an intricate play of self worth, external validation, and societal pressures. This is not it's actually an incomplete sentence. There is no main verb. The human pursuit of accolades and certificates is an intricate interplay kuch bolna hai, so it has the main verb missing, so this is not a correct sentence. These recognitions had been elusive. Yes, this is the past perfect tense. All right. What is the correct meaning of emblematic? Which word can replace emblematic? Which word can replace emblematic in the sentence? Your like does make a difference to me, so do press the like. It is symbolic of or representative of. So B is indeed the correct answer. Excellent. All right. Okay. Is there any grammar question here? Oh, yes. Okay, another 2 minutes. Again, this is 23. Before we go into that, let me quickly tell you three. If you get any question on conditional sentences, conditional one, if I work hard, I will crack. एलेट बना देते हैं to be topical. All right. Conditional two, if I work hard, I would, could, might crack a let. Third conditional, if I had worked hard, I would have cracked a let. First two talk about the future. First one, you're certain of the result, so you use with, simple present, simple future. If I worked hard, past with a would and could, you're not sure of the result. Third is already done. You didn't work hard, you didn't pass. So if I had worked hard, I would have passed. Remember, this if and then clauses can be interchanged. There's nothing wrong with it. But the if clause will not take a will or would in it. All right, so I shouldn't say, if I will work hard, I will pass. Understood? The conditional clause doesn't take a will and would. There are only three forms there. If I work hard, if I worked hard, if I had worked hard. If I write, if I wrote, if I had written. All right? Okay. Now, 2 or 3 minutes to read this. Okay, 2 minutes. 15 seconds more. Okay. Tell me its meaning. Also, tell me what part of speech is it. If I say key breakthrough, what part of speech is it? Key. What part of speech is key? Key refers to its importance, and what part of speech is it? Because it's talking of a breakthrough, it's an adjective. Excellent. All right. This was the question that bothered so many students. Why, I do not know. Now just read through it. Again, I'll give you 30 to 40 seconds. Read the question properly and then answer. I'll give you about 45 seconds to a minute, but give me the correct answer. A word that can be used as a noun as well as a verb. We will use each of them and show. Okay. Yeah, this question bothered a lot of students. Many left it, but could have been easily done. I think today y'all can do it. How will you use uniform as a verb? How will you use uniform as a verb? Think, just use it. How will you use magnetic as a verb? Magnetic can be used as an adjective. How can you use magnetic? Magnetic pole, magnetic substance, magnetic whatever. So this can be used only as an adjective. Uniform as a noun, what you wear to school, it is uniform everywhere as an adjective. How are you going to use it as a verb? All right, so can't work. Uniform can't work. Point, noun and verb. At this point, place. Okay, he pointed to where he wanted to go. Iron, piece of iron, or ironed out something, or ironing your clothes. Core, the center of something. Noun, you core an apple. That means you cut it so that you expose its center. Therefore, D would be the correct answer. I was waiting the whole afternoon for this question to come. All right, so this is the kind of question they give you. This was another easy question which lot of students lost out because of the uh, lack of understanding of the part of speech. First, identify the adjective, then you'll identify the meaning, right? Mm, good. What does it mean? That is the next, right? So, compass is a noun, at is a preposition, Greenwich is a place, so a noun, pointed is a verb, north is a position, direction, so noun. So true north, this is the only adjective you have. Therefore, exact north, precise north, true north. B is the answer. All right. So this is how they check. This was another question that students hated and I loved. Then I decided, okay, this is the time I should be teaching you parts of speech and vocabulary. This is how AILET. Why is this? Undulating means what? To undulate means my timer has gone all wonky. Let me just shut it. Undulate means going up and down. All right. So, in which action would you be undulating? Undulating surface would be like this. So, in which action will you be undulating? Only in a physical movement going up and down, bobbing up and down. That is in dancing. Clear? No, passage 4 we will. Do we have the time? No, you people will beat me up. Ah, mm, okay, we'll do it next time. If I have another, I uh, can we do it in 2 minutes? Those of you who want to take a break, do take. Can we do this in 2 minutes? Just okay. I'll give you to read for 1.5 minutes. My timer is not working, man. Yes. Okay. Those of you who want a break, take a break. Why is my timer not going back to zero? Chalega. I'm not good at calculating from the last point. Zero at maths. No, no. Well, Arman 23, this passage was given. English questions were asked based on this passage and the logical reasoning. So the same passage had questions. The first part, 5 questions on English, and the second part, 5 questions for logical reasoning. The same passage. So this passage was used to ask English questions, and based on that, they asked syllogism questions later. And they asked deductive logic. It is sunny, therefore I go running. Yeah, that was in 23. And 24, we trained our students to do English and CR based on the same passage. And in 24, they gave two different passages, but they gave lot of syllogism questions. So it was very easy for the students. Those who had were good at syllogisms did very well in AILET 24 because of that. There was some 10 or 14 syllogism questions, if I remember right. Yeah, our students were very happy. I remember coming and saying, yeah, a lot of good. Syllogism is like maths, right? If you know the concepts, you get everything correct. All right, 2 minutes up. This was an excellent question. Many students went wrong. He outlined the basic form of syllogism. What does the writer mean? Last time, Gopesh, it went up pretty high. So I keep telling students 80% accuracy with 80% attempts. Yeah, a good score. Don't ask me things like good score. Maximum, as many as you can in the given time. Okay. Yeah, I don't believe in numbers. as high as you can get. You have to be quick. AILET is lengthy as a paper, so you really have to be answer quickly. Don't waste time on right anything. I forgot to put on the timer. 16D presented the main aspects of excellent. 17. Why has the writer used the exclamatory mark here? That's ancient philosophy for you. Where did it go? Read it and see. Hey, why am I coming to compass, not the. Uh, अरे we went all wrong, man. एरिस्टोटल वाला पैसेज आके कंपस आ गया. एरिस्टोटल पढ़ के where is that? See, I made them do this in a hurry because I changed my mind to do grammar, no? So that's why. Here, speech in which certain things have been supposed certain different from those supposed results of necessity because of their being so. If that sounds confusing, that's ancient philosophy for you! Exclamation mark. Don't look at the options on the left. Okay. So basic question 17 is the writer's use of an exclamation mark in the line, that's ancient philosophy for you, indicates what? Derogation, humor, sarcastic. Oh, what tone is it? Derogatory, humorous, sarcastic, or provocative? Is he being humorous or sarcastic? It's not derogatory. Derogatory is extremely belittling. Provocative, trying to instigate you, that's not it. Do you think it's just funny or do you think he has a twisted humor in that? It's obviously funny before because he's trying to explain it to you. Like someone said, can you explain it in English? So the correct answer is humorous. So you had a tone question, you had a very good question on what's a quantifier as explained in the passage, not here, not here, as explained in the passage. Quantifier in the end, he says, he refined Aristotle's system to developing a logical system that explained how quantifiers, words like all or some, work. So, here, what is a quantifier? It is a, all of you, a lot of what no other one has. Some students said the birds could mean all the birds. Well, it hasn't been mentioned, so you cannot assume it, though that is the meaning. Okay. All right. I hope you enjoyed the session. AILET 25. Stay locked with our channel. Take rest before you have 8 minutes rest. All right. And answer Govind's questions well. I will see you very soon. Until then, all the best. God bless you. Everybody, do your best. Stay cool. Stay calm. Take the test well. You've prepared well. You will do well. I'm sure you will do well. Okay. And don't let pressure get to you. The calmer you are, you say, I've prepared well, I will take the test. Doesn't matter what comes out of it, you'll do the best. All right. See you guys. Bye bye.